Hi, my name is Kelsey, and today I have wanted to go ahead and start a series called Blooming After the Rain, where we just go through this process of learning how to grow plants together. I have never actually grown a plant for real. I did have one in college, but I brought it home. I never brought it back with me because it kind of got too big for me to transport in the car I had at the time, and my mom let it die. So, but this is the first time I've actually had vegetable plants. So today we pruned and repotted cucumber, tomato, and bell pepper, as well as cosmo and marigold. I also ended up pruning my squash plant as well. Well, I won't say pruning, but I found out that they are sunburnt, my cucumber and my squash. So I was cutting off the sunburnt parts on those two plants. I ended up pruning my bell pepper and my tomato, but I did leave two bell peppers on my bell pepper plant. I just could not part with them. I like watching the fruits of my labor. So we'll see how that process goes in terms of how it grows up. But I did go ahead and finish that process of cutting off those leaves and vegetables. So I'm just moving all of the things that I am going to repot over to the patio because it is under the shade and it is cooler. This was a very hot day when I was doing this. So right now I am just prepping my soil, which I did this before every repotting. I just cut the rest of them out. So this process was the longest and process, and my arms were hurting after this. But I get soil within layers, so I get soil, add the perlite for the aeration and the drainage. I don't have any measurements for anything. For the perlite, I just end up getting, I'd say 2 to 4 handfuls in each layer. I also add water just to make sure every layer is moist before I repot. So just a little background. I again have been wanting to actually grow whatever. It didn't matter if it's a fruit, vegetable, or just flowers. I've been wanting to do that for a couple of years now, and I have talked about it. My mom was actually diagnosed with breast cancer, in the middle of 2024. So after that, both of our lifestyles essentially changed. I was the sibling who was home. After time, I had just graduated college, so I ended up staying home to take care of her and work and stuff like that. So like I said, our lifestyle changed, especially when it came to actually the way we eat. But recently we just decided, okay, let's go ahead and take that leap and actually start growing things, because of you just don't know what is in your groceries, honestly, when you buy anything from the store, but especially fruits and vegetables, because they are trying to preserve and preserve the shelf life of those fruits and vegetables and things. So on top of the fact that, as everyone knows, life is expensive. Inflation is inflation. So if we can cut costs in any way on how we are, especially with our groceries and stuff and things that we eat constantly, and I do expect that we won't need everything, and we can always give it to friends and family, our vegetables. So but yeah, that is kind of what really got us started. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but I use Miracle Grow. We had two different, I guess, types of Miracle Grow. We had the vegetable and herb Miracle Grow, and then we had the raised garden bed Miracle Grow. I really like the vegetable and herb one. We end up finishing that bag this day when repotting. I also add seed starter. A little bit of seed starter. Most of it is the vegetable and herb, but I do add a little bit of seed starter. I just figured like the nutrients and that will be really good for, any plant, but I don't use a lot of it. Y'all let me know if y'all do the same thing as well. So right now I am just repotting my first plant, which is my bell pepper, which is my favorite plant, named her Bella. So it was super easy to do this, which was surprising because my bell pepper is our biggest plants, our most flourished plants. So I just made sure I set it where I wanted it to be in the bucket and made sure that it was not windy or anything like that. And then after that I added soil around it to get in those gaps and spaces. So that's just the process of that. Let's talk about pest control though. So I don't like bugs, and I'm used to like shooing off bugs. Please let me know what are good and bad pests. I know ladybugs are good for aphids. I did see one ladybug on my bell pepper the other day, which I was happy about. And right now this is just a Cosmo and Miracle, but please let me know what are the good pests. I think spiders are good pests, so I have not shooed away the spiders. What else have I seen around? Ants. I have seen ants around. I have not seen an abundance of ants around, so that is why I have not freaked out about the ants. What else have I seen around for pests? We did have aphids at one time, but they did go away on my cucumber plant. But I don't know. I can't remember what else I've seen around. My marigold, it's not marigold, I'm sorry. My morning glories, which are not in this video, they are getting eaten up by something and I don't know what. Please let me know what I can do. We had some, it starts with a D, and I don't want to butcher it, but it starts with a D. My mom, when I was not in town, she sprayed some on the cucumber and the squash. However, we do think that plus the heat did burn our plant. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning when we were pruning, but I was cutting off that sunburn part of our cucumber and squash leaves. And that is my mom right there. But yeah, so I guess we can put that directly in the soil, I am guessing. I also plan on buying more marigold to put around the bell pepper and the tomato. I'm going to put, I think they're called mysteriums. I am going to put that around the squash. And I heard that you can eat mysteriums, so we're going to try those because they are allegedly edible. But yes, I'm going to put flowers around my plants and the trees to deter pests from the actual trees. So that is one thing we're going to do, but tips and tricks are heavily advised from our more experienced planters. And also, just like I said, let me know what the good pests are, because I'm really trying to not shoo away the things that are going to help me in this process, whether that be people or bugs. At this point in this video, my mother did start helping. This is our first time getting our hands dirty with this, mind you. We've been doing this for, this is our it will be our second month in the middle of June. Love that lady. She is just not a plant lady, and that's okay. like tending to these plants has been my piece, and she knows that, and she knows that. And I told her anyway I didn't want to help, but at this point I did say, yeah, girl, you can go ahead and get this soil prep. And I did help her because she was doing fine, but she was not doing the process like I need the process to be done. Also, let's talk about the pollinators. Before we got these plants, I did not know this, but most cucumber and squash plants, well, actually mom told me it's zucchini squash, but either way, most of those plants are not self-pollinators. Like, we need the bees and stuff. So as opposed to, I used to be like scared of bees. I still am a little scared of bees, but I've never gotten like stung or anything. I'm just, bugs. But I have gotten really excited when I've seen like bees around our cucumber. The zucchini squash has not opened up yet, but I've been getting really excited because I'm like, yes, I love that you guys love to do your jobs. So yeah, I've been seeing them around. I don't know when I'll see like actual cucumbers, but that's just been really nice to see. And they don't bother you, they're just there to pollinate and stuff. So yep. This is at the point where I'm getting the tomato. I originally was not going to move the tomato, but I went ahead and did it because I knew it was going to have to be moved into a bigger container, a much bigger container than what it was in. Which I've been very happy with how my tomato plant has been looking. It just grows a little bit slower, I've noticed, as opposed to the bell pepper. But I did cut all the buds. Just like I said, I cut all the buds off of the the buds off of the tomato, and most of the buds off of the bell pepper. So yeah, but at this point, I think now I'm just adding Miracle-Gro that my mom bought. We have never used this before, so this was new. I'll let you know if I see any significant changes in like the soil or the plant by adding like a thin layer of that to the soil. I haven't seen anything since this video, which was a few days ago. I haven't seen like significant changes, but if I see significant, I will let you guys know. Again, at this point, this process of being inside was 2 hours. So it rained in between this, like everything. So we're just cleaning up. But if you have any questions or suggestions, please drop them. This is my first video, so there will be more coming soon because I really want to just document this process for myself and for others. Thank you for watching.